Good morning. Welcome on an absolutely satisfying Saturday. Let's have a day of learning. Let's have a day of new beginnings. Today is also the Amavasya, or also called the new moon. And today at 6:46 is the right time, of course, if you believe in it, to write down your dreams on that yellow paper with a red pen. What do we do with them? We just write them and we tuck them under a mattress from where we sleep. And every day, morning and evening, whenever we are manifesting, we harp on those dreams. We work on those dreams and eventually they come true. So that's the science of new beginnings. The Cancerian moon is a lot to do with family and emotions and for new beginnings at a personal front. So if there's some toxic relationships that we need to let go, so we just surrender for that and we invite new beautiful beginnings at a personal level, emotional level. Of course, it works for even other things, but it's more about the home budding this time for Cancerian moon. Any questions regarding this, let me know because then we can start. So it's very simple. We take a yellow paper, we write as many dreams as possible. There's no limitations. Of course, if they're lesser, you will be able to manifest them faster. So that depends on you, but sky is the limit, it's limitless. Remember, you are limitless. So are your dreams, and being a human, we definitely have dreams. So it's perfect. And we just keep manifesting them morning, evening. That's it, nothing more. But if there are any questions, of course, I'm happy to answer them. You can ask them later also if something pops in. Meanwhile, let's start a Pixit programming. Ritesh sir, let's have the music and energize ourselves to start our day with a beginning which is wonderful and powerful. So it is. Yes. I'm a winner. And how wonderful is that? Left leg in the front, right in the back, and let's start once again to run towards our dreams. Yes. I'm a winner. Wonderful. Let's have a nominee for the day, somebody who will read for us. Today is the second last day of our mirror work, and tomorrow it's going to be the last day for mirror work. And day after, we start this beautiful book called Ikigai. Very beautiful, especially for people who are still looking at their life and finding a direction. It's really pretty and it unfolds very beautifully. So, without further ado, today is day 20, teaching mirror work to children. So now we have learned, we have enhanced our skills, we've enhanced our love for ourselves. And for those of you who have children, who want the children to now break free of the shackles that you have broken at your age, it's time to introduce them to this beautiful magical book called Mirror Work. Teaching mirror work to children. Children also face the stresses of life. Today you learn how to practice mirror work with little ones, and you watch the miracles that happen. So it's very important to understand that we have been victims, so I like to say at times, of society, because that's how everyone's conditioned. And our parents have brought us up the way their parents had brought us up, and likewise. Similarly, we also have knowingly, unknowingly faltered and erred in our bringing up of our children because we were not aware of mirror work, we were not aware of magic, we were not aware of secrets of life, and we were also conditioned and conditioned. So, definitely, the parenting must have gone wrong somewhere. It could have been perfect also. But is there any harm in bringing this magnificence to our next generation? So, here we start this journey. Is anyone raising a hand? You're nearly at the end of this course and you are doing beautifully. I applaud your commitment and dedication. Every day you practice your mirror work and you're giving yourself the gift of love. And every day you practice your mirror work, you're letting go of old negative beliefs you have been carrying for so long. Where did these negative beliefs come from? We picked them up as children. We absorbed every word that was said to us. The more we heard our parents or other adults saying negative things about us, the more we believed them. Yes, Shruti, from next page 168, you can start the journey.
Good morning. Growing up, we often called one another cruel and hurtful names and belittled one another. But why did we do this? Where did we learn such behavior? Many of us were told by our parents or teachers that we were stupid or dumb or lazy, that we were troublemakers or not good enough. Maybe we cringed when we heard these statements, but we believed that. Little did we, I think, ma'am, hello.
Yes, please.
I think you're off, ma'am. Your
That's
video is
okay.
off.
Please,
Achha, okay, okay,
that's okay. Please start. Please
okay.
continue.
Maybe we cringed when we heard these statements, but we believed them. Little did we realize how much these beliefs hurt, or how deeply embedded our pain and shame would become. Look back at some of the more difficult lessons of this course, lessons in which you uncovered beliefs that were blocking you. When you did your mirror work and journaling, did you find that those beliefs often stemmed from past hurts from your childhood? I was not taught in school that my choice of words would have an effect on my life. No one taught me that my thoughts were creative, that they could literally shape my destiny, or that what I gave are verbally would return to me as life experiences. No one ever taught me that I was worth loving or that I deserved to have good things happen to me. Certainly, nobody taught me that my life was here to support me. We can change all that for our children now. One of the most important things we can do for them is to remind them of the basic truth that they are loving. Our role of parents is not to be perfect, to get everything right, but to be loving and kind. Children today have a lot more issues to deal with than we did when we were their age. They are steadily barraged with news about the critical state of the world and are continually having to make complex choices. How children handle these challenges, it's a direct reflection of how they truly feel about themselves. The more children love and respect themselves, the easier it will be for them to make the right choices in life. It is important that we instill in our children a sense of independence and power and the knowledge that they can make a difference in today's world. Above all, it is important to teach them to love who they are and to know that they are good enough to matter what. Young people are looking up to us and listening to every word we say. Be a shining example of positive statements and affirmations. When you begin to believe them, so will your children. Nurture the children in your life just as you are learning to nurture yourselves. Remember, nobody, Nobody the perfect children or perfect parent. We are bound to make poor choices at one time or another. This is simply part of the learning and growing process. What is important is to love your children unconditionally, and most important, to love yourself unconditionally. Then watch the miracles happen for your children as well as for yourself. Let's affirm I can be what I want to be. I can be what I want to be. All life supports me.
How wonderful. So, very simply, we must have faltered, or children must have faltered, because to be human means to err, right? So, it's absolutely okay. The peer pressure now is much more than we had when we were growing up. Technology has advanced so much more, which means a lot more pressure has come in, sometimes financially, sometimes emotionally. But now is the time to bring the children above the line, right? So, for this, very simply introduce them to this beautiful book called Mirror Work. And it's fun to do them with our children because you can really bond. This could be a bonding time as well. And of course, they have to be open and receptive for it. I won't say I was successful with this mirror work with my children because they aren't ready for this journey. But if your children are, please try it. I know some of the parents in the first Sangha, they had a fantastic time with their children. They're very ready for it. Shelly Agarwal is here. Her children are doing it so beautifully with her. Younger they are, the sooner they learn. Older they are, the little more stuck up they are. My daughter's 18, so she wasn't ready for it. And seeing her, the younger one wasn't ready for it. But of course, everyone has a time, and we can't push and force, and that's what we shouldn't do. Introduce them to the fact if they like it, great. If they don't like it, at least you tried. Today, what do we do in our Minago exercise? First is, I would like you to watch a video of a sweet little girl doing her affirmations. It's called Jessica's Daily Affirmation. And you can see it at this link. Of this, of course, will be posted to all of you. Watch this video with your child or any child in your life, even with your inner child. Ask your child to do its own daily affirmations, just as Jessica did in the video. Ask the child what it is happy about and have it tell that to the mirror. You can start the exercise by doing your own mirror work and inviting your child to join in. Say simple affirmations like, I love you. I love everything about you. I am great. I am beautiful. I have cool hair. I can dance like a TV star. Schedule a time every day to do mirror work with your child, even if only for a few minutes in the morning. So I always talk about the power of scheduling. If it's scheduled, it gets done. So figure out a time which is constant in your 21-day journey. If you're embarking on it, it's going to be absolutely magical. If you're traveling and you want to go back and start, more power to you. At least schedule it so that you know you and your child are doing it together. Journaling is a very important part of our life when we are growing into better beings. So, today in our journaling exercise, let's begin by reading a story excerpts from my book, The Adventures of Lulu. You can access it by visiting this particular link. Of course, it will be shared with you. Number two, have drawing paper, colored pencils, colored markers, crayons, and glue ready. And ask your child to draw a magic mirror to go to, just as Lulu does in the book. Encourage the child to decorate the mirror, glue pretty pictures around it, and glitter, and sparkles to the frame. Cover it in a riot of colors. This is very important psychotherapy. All of us are emerging stronger out of this. Research say you can change the page. So it's very important to get the inner child out, get your child's child out, and enjoy this therapy. With your child, take turns looking in the magic mirror and saying wonderful things about yourself. Write down the positive statements you and your child say so you can repeat them when you do your morning mirror work together. So, very important for all of us to be doing our mirror work together. Very important for all of us to realize that positive statements are important. And when we are saying them, our children are also repeating them. And then the conditioning in the house becomes such that it's all about positivity. So, anybody goes below the line, somebody is there to lift them up. Our heart thought for day 20, I communicate openly with my children. So, of course, to a few of you are children yourself and you're not married, and that's absolutely okay. It is vitally important to keep the lines of communication open with children and open with children, especially during the teen years. So often, children are told things like, don't say that, don't do that, don't feel that, don't be that way, don't express that. When all they hear is don't, they stop communicating. Then, when the children are older, parents complain, "My children never call me." Why don't they call? Because the lines of communication have been cut. That's why. When you are open with your children, using positive statements like "it's okay to feel sad and you can talk to me about it," and you encourage them to share their feelings, the lines of communication will be restored. So I don't know how many of you have observed. So you can change the book to Power of Subconscious Mind. There are so many parents who keep complaining that the children aren't talking to them enough, and when they're married, they don't call them up enough. That's because in the childhood, they were told repeatedly again and again to stop saying some things. And when they weren't expressing, you weren't open as a parent to listen to them. Now, why should they open their hearts and their minds out? Because you blocked the channels. So it's very beautiful to say this affirmation, even if you're children yourself. At least whenever you're married and you have children, you will know that parenting is a joy and you will open the channels and let them make mistakes, let them fuddle up, let them. Your idea is to just put them in a right path, but rest is up to them. Let them be the decision makers. Today we will read a beautiful paragraph, many paragraphs, maybe the full chapter, on how our subconscious mind removes mental blocks. So, yes, please, let's continue.
Uh, the solution lies within the problem. The answer is in every question. If you are presented with a difficult situation and you cannot see your way clear, the best procedure is to assume that infinite intelligence within your subconscious mind knows all and sees all, has the answer, and is revealing it to you now. Your new mental attitude that the creative intelligence is bringing about a happy solution will enable you to find the answer. Rest assured that such an attitude of mind will bring order, peace, and meaning to all your undertakings. How to break or build a habit? You are a creature of habit. Habit is the function of subconscious mind. You learn to swim, ride a bicycle, dance, drive a car by consciously doing these things over and over again until they establish tracks in your subconscious mind. Then, the automatic habit action of your subconscious mind took over. This is sometimes called second nature, which is a reaction of your subconscious mind to your thinking and acting. You are free to choose a good habit or a bad habit. If you repeat a negative thought or act over period, you will be under a compulsion of a habit. The law of your subconscious is compulsion. How he broke a bad
Let's
habit.
understand this very
Mr.
clearly. Wait a minute, sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not go so fast. After every story, please take a pause. Let's reflect on the story, okay? So understand by now we are all conditioned that our subconscious mind is where all the intelligence lies. Our subconscious mind has infinite intelligence, and whenever we ask a question, it reveals to us the right answer. It may not come immediately for many of us, but for many of us, it may come immediate, and it may come as dreams, it may come as some poster written somewhere, something on a social media site, something can come. And that is a happy solution which all of us have to follow. And remember one thing, it's all about habit formation. And habit formation is definitely from our subconscious mind. It becomes our second nature because we are repeating something like a pattern again and again and again. And the next time it's going to happen, we know exactly how to go about it. By now, I think all of you know that you have to get it from the bed and go to the loo. What is the way out? Even if you do not have your eyes open and you have, say, some allergy in your eyes, which I've been going through these days, you simply, even if your eyes are closed and glued, you will simply walk straight in the loo without bumping yourselves up. Why? Because you're conditioned to be walking that particular track, that path every morning. Now you are free to choose a good habit or a bad habit. So if something negative has happened, it'll take a little while, but if you start affirming, changing, affirming, changing, you will realize that next, now second nature becomes a new change. So a new you is very much possible as long as you're ready for the change. And that's how it becomes beautiful. Let's hear another story of how a man broke his bad habit. And this is something all of us learn a lot from.
Mr.
Yes, please.
Jones, Mr. John said to me, an uncontrollable urge to drink seizes me. and I remained drunk for 2 weeks at a time. I can't give up this terrible habit. Time and time again, these experiences had occurred to this unfortunate man. He had grown into the habit of drinking to excess. Although he had drinking of his own initiative, he has begun to realize that he could change the habit and establish a new one. He said that while through his willpower, he was able to suppress the desires temporarily. His continued efforts to suppress the many urges only made matters worse. His repeated failures convinced him that he was hopeless and powerless to control his urge or obsession. This idea of being powerless operated as a powerful suggestion to his subconscious mind and aggravated his weaknesses, making his life a succession of failures. I taught him to harmonize the functions of his conscious and subconscious mind. When these two cooperate, the idea or desire implanted in the subconscious mind is realized. His reasoning mind agreed that if the old habit path or track had carried him into trouble, he could consciously form a new path of freedom, sobriety, and peace of mind. He knew that his destructive habit was automatic, but since it was acquired through his conscious choice, he realized that if he had been conditioned negatively, he also could be conditioned positively. As a result, he ceased thinking of the fact that he was powerless to overcome the habit. Moreover, he understood clearly that there were no obstacle of his healing other than his own thought. Therefore, there was no occasion for great mental effort or mental coercion.
So, very important to realize that bad habits will be there. All of us will have bad habits, and that's absolutely okay. Ritesh, sir, when you can change the page when you finish reading it. Thank you. So, bad habits will be there in our life, but all we have to do is simply understand that yes, we have had a bad habit and it's time to move. It's time to understand the real us, the time to really change and affirm and have a conscious decision that, okay, I'm ready for the change. And the minute your conscious mind says, I'm ready for the change, and your subconscious mind will be conditioned to new affirmations, a new building block of life, you will definitely find a progressive change. Let's read another morning story of the power of his mental picture. So he's creatively visualized something, and how that comes true is something let's understand.
This man acquired a practice of relaxing his body and getting into relaxed, drowsy, meditative state. Then he filled his mind with the picture of desired end, knowing his subconscious mind could bring it about the easier way. He imagined his daughter congratulating him on his freedom and saying to him, "Daddy, it's wonderful to have been you home." He has lost his family through drink. He was not allowed to visit them, and his wife would not speak to him. Regularly, systematically, he used to sit down and meditate in the way outlined. When his attention wandered, he made it a habit to immediately recall the mental picture of his daughter with a smile and with a sense of his home, enlivened by her cheerful voice. All this brought him a.
And the scene of his home enlivened by her cheerful voice. So just it's not sense, it's seen. So
Okay.
immediately he was picturing the happy moments in his life, which is his daughter embracing him with a very beautiful greeting. So now what this brought is reconditioning of his mind. It was a gradual process. He kept it up. Yes, please read from he persevered.
He persevered, knowing the sooner or later he would establish a new habit pattern of his subconscious mind. I told him that he could listen his conscious mind to a camera, that his subconscious mind was the sensitive.
He could liken his conscious mind, sweetheart.
Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. He could liken his conscious mind to a camera, that his subconscious mind was the sensitive plate on which he registered and impressed the picture. This made a profound impression on him, and his whole aim was to firmly impress the picture on his mind and develop it there. Films are developed in the dark. Likewise, mental pictures are developed in the dark room of the subconscious mind.
So let's get this very, very, very clear. The way in the olden times, the reels and the films were developed in dark rooms, similarly, our subconscious mind registered new patterns in a dark area. Why do we say dark area? Because it's very important for us to mentally visualize something when our eyes are closed. You खुली आंखों सपना देखना is fine, but if you want to give it power, you have to close your eyes, go in a meditative state, most preferably if a trance where you can just see or some things, and it's nicer to do that first thing when you're waking up and last thing when you're about to sleep. So get this very clear. Creative visualization is something all of us have learned from Shakti Gawain. The procedures also we've learned, the methods also we've learned. Lots of methods are there, each to their own. You want to try a new method every now and then, see which one works for you, or stick to one. Is absolutely depending upon you. Now let's read a small little story about focused attention.
Realizing that his conscious mind was simply a camera, he used no effort. There was no mental struggle. He quietly adjusted his thoughts and focused his attention on the scene before him until he gradually became identified with the picture. He became absorbed in the mental atmosphere, repeating the mental movie frequently. There were no room for doubt that, that a healing would follow. When there was any temptation to drink, he would switch his imagination from any reveries of drinking bouts to the feeling of being at home with his family. He was successfully because he was confidently expected to experience the picture he was developing his in his mind. Today he is president of multi-million dollar concern and is radiantly happy.
Get this very clear. If your attention is focused on something which is amazing, and that is some that amazing is making your family go better, your profession go better, you becoming better, you will evolve as a better reader, as a better writer, as a better entrepreneur, as a better businessman, woman, as a family man, whatever your dreams are. If you're focused about it, and you have a mental movie frequently for it, you will definitely have an advantage of seeing that dream come true. So, very, very, very important to see the dreams, mentally visualize them, and have attention. He said a jinx was following him. This is about a story of where a man. Okay, yes, let's unfold the story.
Mr. Block said that he had been making an annual income of $20,000. But for the past 3 months, all doors seems to be jammed tightly. He brought clients up to the point that they were about to sign on the dotted line, and then in the 11th hour, the door closed. He added that perhaps a jinx was following him. In discussing the matter with Mr. Block, I discovered that 3 months previously he had become very irritated, annoyed, and resentful towards the dentist who, and after he had promised to sign a contract, had withdrawn at the last moment. He began to live in the unconscious fear that other clients would do the same. Therefore, setting up a history of frustration, hostility, and obstacles, he gradually built up in his mind a belief in obstruction and last minute cancellation until a vicious circle had been established. What I fear most has come upon me. Mr. Block realized that the trouble was in his own mind and that he was essential to change his mind attitude. His run of so called misfortune was broken to the following way. I realize I am one with the infinite intelligence of my subconscious mind, which knows no obstacle, difficulty, or delay. I live in joyous expectancy of the best. My deeper, next page. My deeper mind responds to my thoughts. I know that the work of the infinite power of my subconscious cannot be hindered. Infinite intelligence always finishes successfully whatever it begins. Creative wisdom works through me, bringing all my plans and purpose to completion. Whatever I start, I bring to a successful conclusion. My aim in life is to give wonderful service, and all those whom I contract are blessed by what I have to offer. All my work comes to full fruition in divine order. He repeated his prayer every morning before going to call for honest customers. He also prayed each night prior to sleep. In short time, he established a new habit pattern in his subconscious mind, and he was back in his old accustomed stride as a successful salesman.
Thank you. So, how many of us have realized this pattern, especially when it comes to work or something? So, back then, I think this was about 16, 17 years ago. Every client that used to come to me used to order the wedding cards with me very, very easily. It was like cake work for me. And just once I had just delivered my first child, and I was like, I don't wish to work, and it's just becoming too much. I like to freelance once in a while. I like to work, and I was a little moody. And when I used to go to my office, my studio, I just first time I'm like, okay, I really don't want to. I don't like get the vibes of this client. I don't want to work, and that's the first time in my 3 4 years history that I'd lost a client, and somehow celebrating the very fact, okay, I've lost him. That's funful. I didn't want to work, and I wrote his name, and the caption I remember still a few years ago. I had that book. I said lost clients. Believe you me, I was inviting to have lost clients because one after the other, the list kept becoming longer, longer, longer until it was about 12 member long. And then I realized I'm not going to be in this pattern. And I broke the thing. I said, no, I'd like to invite work now because I want to really grow and make it great. And that was the last day when I broke the jinx. And ever since then, I never lost clients again. It's all the conditioning of our mind. It's very, very important to not count the negatives. If you put them into paper, into writing, you're actually expanding them. So even if the negatives do happen in life, and they will happen, let them be in the part of your mind, in your conscious mind. Don't make a pattern out of it, which is going to become a subconscious habit. So very careful to just be very careful to expand only what you really want to expand, not what you don't require. But unfortunately, what happens is something that's going wrong, that's what you're expanding. And that happens with all of us. So very important to have a corrective measure, very important to start aiming the good things in life and start counting your blessings. And that's when the shift happens. Of course, for this, consciously you have to be aware that I'm on the wrong path and I need to change my way. And that's when your dreams come to fruition. And when you keep harping on the fact that everything is divine order, divine love is there for me, and I know divine guidance is there for me, things work like miracles. How much do you want what you want? Very important to understand. Are you just saying it, or do you really, really want something? Let's understand through the story.
A young man about Socrates, how he could get wisdom. Socrates replied, "Come with me." He took the lad to a river, pushed the boy's head under the water, held it there until the boy was gasping for air, then relaxed and released his head. When the boy regained his composure, he asked him, "What did you desire most when you were under water?" "I wanted air," said the boy. Socrates said to him, "When you want wisdom, as much as you wanted air, when you were immersed in the water, you will receive it. Likewise, when you really have an intense desire to overcome any block in your life, you can come to a clear cut decision that there is a way out, and that is the course you wish to follow. Then victory and triumph are assured. If you really want peace of mind and inner calm, you will get it, regardless of how unjustly you have been treated or how unfair the boss has been and what a mean scoundrel has
Scoundrel, someone has proved.
scoundrel someone has proved to be. All this makes no difference to you when you awaken to your mental and spiritual powers. You know what you want, and you will definitely refuse to let the thieves' thoughts of hatred, anger, hostility, and ill will rob you of peace, harmony, health, and happiness. You cease to become upset by people, conditions, news, and events by identifying your thoughts immediately with your aim in life. Your aim is peace, health, inspiration, harmony, and abundance. Feel a river of peace flowing through you now. Your thought is the immaterial and invisible power, and you choose to let it bless, inspire, and give you peace.
So, very important to first be sure of what we really want. If we really want something, no matter we've been victim, no matter we've not been treated very well by life or by people, it doesn't matter. Because what matters now is our intention. And today is a day for beautiful intentions. Start intending, start making a difference, start having a sankalp. This is where you really want to awaken yourself. It could be an emotional level, a mental level, a spiritual level, in whichever level you think you want to grow. Start having some definite thoughts and let your mind get you back on track. It's easy for the mind to pull you back. So remember, when they're angels, they're also devils. Each time you want to go on a path of goodness, the devil will say, come on, do it. For example, I'll give you an idea about food. You have been great for the last 5 days, eating very well, been very healthy, your body's agreeing with you, and you're exercising and you're feeling, wow, I'm really having a great time. And just then you see a very greasy meal full of, full of processed food. And your devil says, oh, come on, you've like been so good, come on, go indulge. And you indulge like a pig, you really pick it out, you're like, okay, I deserve it. And then you've screwed up the entire 5 days. Now this is happening because devils are pulling you. But if that is a time when you can switch yourself into this world of, say, a meditative trance, or just start saying affirming, my body chooses very beautiful food, it's spiritually I'm getting enhanced, and it's going to be great for my body. I choose healthy options. You will, maybe you'll pick up that little bite or little portion, but you'll not pick out the entire meal. That is a time which is the most important time in anyone's life to feel good. When you're feeling sick, and that time, if you can switch over and say, no, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm getting better, you will get better. But if you start saying, no, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, you will get more sicker. So how do you wish to be is something how you want to be, and that can truly happen by just having a conscious, mindful decision. How he could not be healed. So let's know of the story.
This is a case history of a married man with 4 children who was supporting and secretly living with another woman during his business trips. He was ill, nervous, irritable, cantankerous, and he could not sleep without drugs. The doctor's medicines failed to bring down his high blood pressure of over 200. He had pains in numerous organs of his body, which doctors could not diagnose or relieve. To make matters worse, he was drinking heavily. The cause of all this was deep unconscious sense of guilt. He had violated the marriage vows and this troubled him. The religious creed he was brought up on was deeply lodged in his conscious mind, and he drank excessively to heal the wound of guilt. Some invalids take morphines and codeine for severe pains. He was taking alcohol for the pain or wound in his mind. He was the old story of adding fuel to the fire.
So how do we understand from this story? Simply in life, if you are irritable, if you're not conscious, if you're cantankerous, things can happen very negatively for you because you're not able to understand that you are the only person who can be healed. If you start saying negative stuff will keep expanding. So it's very important to that time not feel that you're in an abyss and get yourself out of it. And that out is something only we can do, only we can heal ourselves in people life, and people can give us healing, yes they can, and it will make a difference, but the main healing is of our mind. If our mind is healed, we can go to the next level. The last story for this morning, the explanation and the cure.
He listened to his explanation of how his mind worked. He faced his problem, looked at it, and gave up his dual role. He knew that his drinking was an unconscious attempt to escape. The hidden cause lodged in his unconscious mind. He had to be eradicated. Then the healing would follow. He began to impress his subconscious mind 3 or 4 times a day by using the following prayer: my mind is full of peace, poise, balance, and equilibrium. The infinite lies stretched in smiling repose within me. I am afraid of anything in the past, present, or the future. The infinite intelligence of my subconscious mind leads, guides, directs me in all way. I now meet every situation with faith, poise, calmness, and confidence. I am now completely free from the habit. My mind is full of inner peace, freedom, and joy. I forgive myself. I am forgiven. Peace, sobriety, and confidence reign supreme in my mind. He repeated his prayer frequently as outlined, being fully aware of what he was doing and why he was doing. Knowing what he was doing gave him the necessary faith and confidence. I explained to him that as he spoke these statements out loud, slowly, lovingly, and meaningfully, they would gradually sink down into his subconscious mind. Like seeds, they would grow after their kind. These truths on which he concentrated went in through his eyes, his ears heard the sound, and the healing vibrations of these words reached his subconscious mind, and all
And,
obliterated
ob- and obliterated, removed.
obli- obliterated all the negative mental patterns which caused all the trouble. Light dispels light dispels darkness. The constructive thought destroys the negative thought. He became a transformed man within the month.
How wonderful. The constructive thought destroys the negative thought. So if you wish to construct your life, if you start affirming and if you make a audio of it for 2, 3, 4 minutes, and each time you keep listening to it, even when you're running your normal errands, what's happening is unconsciously or consciously, your subconscious mind will register the new programming. Oh, she's saying this like 10 times a day. Oh my God. So, yes, this line works for her. For example, she's claiming that, I am calm and composed, whereas she's actually in real life, she's very irritable. She's all the time throwing her weight around. But she's saying, I'm calm and composed. I'm calm and composed. And she's saying this so many times, like she's hearing this on the go. So, if you have these 3 or 4 minute audios, which in your voice are there, and you're hearing them whenever possible. It could be running an errand in the house or at your work front, wherever, on the go. Imagine the conditioning which will happen in your subconscious mind. Ultimately, it'll come to pass because the subconscious mind will say, oh, this is the frequency she's giving me again and again and again. Oh, so she's gone through a change of heart because she's saying that I am calm and composed. There it is. So, very simple to have affirmations, very simple to agree with something, and very simple to tell yourself that, I forgive myself because whether you realize or not, every human being has been tough on him or herself. And all of us have at least 1 or 2 incidences where we say, okay, why did I allow myself to become a victim? Or why did I allow this to happen? If we aren't one of those, fantastic, more power to us. But if we are one of those, then please let's realize it's okay. This too shall pass. And let's just confidently affirm in our new life where we are creating everything with a reason and logic. So the logic is telling your mind again and again. Of course, I'll repeat the statement which goes very beautifully. Logic and magic does not work together. So if you want magical beginnings, logic would not matter. But this logic of conditioning our subconscious mind with the fertile seeds of prosperity are very, very, very important. And this will invite the necessary faith and confidence in ourselves. So if I start affirming that this is my monthly income and it's not, but I start affirming, there comes a time that I start believing, yeah, it is, and so it is. But if the statement is so outrageous, for example, I'm earning, say, a lakh a month, and I'm all of a sudden saying, oh, I'm earning a crore a month. Now, to my conscious mind, it's not acceptable, right? 1 lakh versus 1 crore, 100 times, it's not acceptable. So it'll say, but no, it is not. So don't do that. Probably move on to a lakh and a half to something which is tangible. So yeah, Shruti, please go attend to your baby. That's just fine. That's absolutely fine. Thank you so much. So that what is not tangible is not understandable. So please only have affirmations. I know you want to have bigger goals. So can we go gradually? So one of us was faltering and written an absolutely outrageous amount in our life. And that didn't gel with the subconscious mind. So you were stuck. So the minute that person shifted that big goal to a tangible goal, all of a sudden switchover happened because that's believable. So if I'm earning a lakh, I can have more, leads, and I can probably make it two. That's possible. So from two to go to four to go to eight is easier than from one to go to 1 crore. So please be a little logical in that aspect. Of course, whatever you want will happen, but let your emotions come out. So if you're the sort of a person who says, okay, 1 crore is possible, not a big deal, yeah, abhi 1 lakh kama raha hu, 1 crore is possible, so more power to you. If you can actually think and believe and feel it, nothing like it. The entire thing is, in Hindi they say ehsaason ki duniya hai. It's a world of feelings. If you can feel it, you can believe it, and that's what is happening. Thank you, Ritesh sir, for this book. Let's move on to Luke Patino's Magic Weight Loss Pill. Today, something new will unfold for us. We've been reading a lot about weight, inflammation, about how there's so many myths in the market, about how bodies are. Yesterday, we talked about cholesterol, how cholesterol and inflammation are also working on us. And we can also reduce our high blood pressure, diabetes, and thyroid. Today, we'll continue the chapter from yesterday, and we'll read about something which is going further. And let me tell you something, cholesterol is a very important thing. If we are not looking at it, we can really have a lot of problems. So it's very important to be careful. Karishma, would you want to read for us from page 45? Because Shruti had to go tend to her baby. So if that's possible, please raise your hand. Ritesh sir will unmute you. So until Karishma or anyone volunteers, it is a myth that an imbalance in cholesterol. Yeah, there she is. Thank you, my dear. God bless. Page 45. Over to you.
It is a myth that an imbalance in cholesterol levels lead to heart attacks. Heart attacks occur from inflammation in your arteries and high blood pressure if it is poorly managed. When you have poor circulation due to inactivity or have a diet high in sugar and salt and lacking in plant, fruits, nuts, and seeds, the endothelial cells in your arteries get damaged. Inflammation sets in, and it is the body's natural response to cellular damage, which constricts the arteries and reduces blood flow. Your blood also thickens, and because of this, you have high blood pressure. Over time, this inflammation keeps blood pressure high, which can form clots in your brain, arteries, or any part of your body and lead to a stroke, paralysis, or cardiac arrest. Cholesterol does not fit into this little picture I just drew. However, high triglyceride and low good cholesterol levels do contribute to inflammation and damage in your arteries. If you take drugs to lower your cholesterol without changing your lifestyle, you risk harming yourself. It may make your next blood report look good because it shows a reduction in overall cholesterol levels. But the medicines don't contribute to an increase in your HDL levels. You have to understand that cholesterol is a precursor to steroid hormones. You cannot make estrogen, testosterone, or cortisol if you have low cholesterol levels. The UVB rays of the sun interact with cholesterol in your body to make vitamin D. So, if you have low cholesterol and vitamin D deficiency at the same time, your liver gets a signal to produce more cholesterol because your body wants to naturally increase vitamin D levels. So, sometimes fixing your vitamin D deficiency is all that is required to prevent the excess production of cholesterol. Because your body will continue producing whatever it needs for bodily functions. Doctors tend to ignore this factor while tackling cholesterol problems. I have noticed.
Uh,
Sorry.
just that, no, that's fine. Just that, get one thing very clear. I don't know how many of you have realized when you clot, when you have a problem in your body and you have a cut, the blood that comes out is very thin initially, and then the thick blood starts coming because the body has its own reaction. It will start thickening the blood in order to avoid the blood loss. So our veins are so thin, and the blood that's running through it is so thin. But the minute you have any inflammation in your body, this thickens up and you're not able to process your body very well. Cholesterol is very important factor, and get it very clear that if you're tackling yourself, there's a weight issue that's going on, you may have a cholesterol issue. And usually people who have weight have fatty livers and have cholesterol problem also. But the very fact that if you introduce your plant diet and you go back to organics, a lot of life will get sorted. So I don't think it's a good wise decision to read all of this and just say, okay, let me go for a blood test. If you have a weight issue, a lot of them will be upper niche, or a lot of vitamins will be upper niche. That's a very normal thing. When you have a body which is not healthy, you will have unconscious parameters, and I mean, you'll not have healthy parameters. But please be careful. Read the information, process it, but don't take it in a way that you want to rush to a doctor immediately. Remember, you are the doctor. Remember, you can heal your body very beautifully by simply affirming what you think is wrong or right. So even if you have some medical problem, start affirming. You have Louis Hayes affirmations. Read them, feel them, and you can heal. Yes, please continue, Karishma.
I have noticed that in India, doctors do not check for C reactive protein, CRP levels. Ever since I have moved to India, I have made every patient and client check their CRP levels, as high CRP levels are a measure of inflammation. I am appalled that patients don't have to get this test done before or after bypass surgery. Did you know that your cholesterol level is directly linked to your insulin level? If your body is producing more insulin because you have insulin insensitivity, your liver will also produce more cholesterol. So, a diabetic will automatically have higher cholesterol because of high insulin levels. These patients take one drug for diabetes and another to lower cholesterol, and another to manage the side effects of both those pills. A few months later, you're prescribed blood pressure medication, and so the cycle sustains itself. So, work on bringing down your sugar levels, and your cholesterol levels will automatically correct themselves. It all comes down to what you eat. If you eat a lot of processed sugar, processed food, and bad carbohydrates, your body needs more cholesterol to produce more hormones such as estrogen, cortisol, and testosterone to keep you healthy. And these get depleted because of unhealthy food. If your blood sugar levels are high, you go to a doctor who puts you on a pill for diabetes and one for cholesterol. Now let's discuss the second function of cholesterol, which is to repair your cells. If you're constantly damaging the cells in your arteries because of your lifestyle, getting injured because of overtraining, and or having inflammation in your body, your cholesterol level will be high. So, if I'm treating a cancer patient who is on cholesterol medication, the first thing I do is work with the doctors to get them off the medication in a safe way because I want their body to produce more cholesterol and repair cells, as all cancers originate from cells. Cholesterol is in all the food that you've been told over the last few years is bad for you. Egg yolks and saturated fats such as ghee, coconut oil, and olive oil. However, all of these fats contain the right amount of cholesterol and enzymes, and you need those fats. Your liver produces a certain amount of cholesterol every day. If you're getting it from another source, such as seafood or deep fried food, your liver will automatically produce less of it. A bad lifestyle combined with too much high cholesterol food, poor circulation, and too much inflammation in your body is what leads to excess cholesterol in the body. If your doctor puts you on a statin, you should ask him/her about the side effects of this deadly drug. The kind of side effects I see in people who are on statins range from dizziness, bloating, and flatulence to neuromuscular damage, muscle fatigue, softening of bones, Parkinson's disease, and memory loss. Statins work by inhibiting an enzyme that your liver uses to produce cholesterol. We have established why cholesterol is essential for the body. So, inhibiting production interferes with the dynamics of the human body. Statins also deplete your body of something called coenzyme Q10, commonly known as CoQ10, which is an extremely important antioxidant that the mitochondria of your cells use to produce cellular energy. This means you're entering the vicious cycle of lowering your immunity, increasing inflammation, and inviting disease into the body. Just as it is essential to take a probiotic and B12 supplements with an antibiotic, if you are on statin, high blood pressure medication, or a cholesterol lowering drug, you should be prescribed a CoQ10 supplement. Preferably, it should be a CoQ10 plant-based supplement. Otherwise, you should have ubiquinol. Ubiquinol is reduced oxidized form of CoQ10. If you're over 50, you have to take both these enzymes to replenish the antioxidant your statin or cholesterol medication depletes. That's why today there is no cure for cardiovascular disease. High blood pressure, unless corrected, can lead to a cardiac arrest, clot, stroke, or surgery. This does not mean no one needs surgery, cholesterol drugs, etc. But you also need doctors to tell you when these are necessary because overprescription is creating more sickness and financial stress on everyone. Many of us pop pills because we want our blood reports to look good. We don't make lifestyle changes and suffer from the side effects of these medications. Cholesterol is one of the easiest things to manage with the right lifestyle changes.
So I'll give you an example of this friend of mine. He's turned 50 last year. And till 10 years ago, this guy was like a plump, he was like fat and he was absolutely unhealthy, bad cholesterol levels, and everything was warped up. Don't know how he got in this company of these amazing athletes. And he began running, like started walking rigorously and then started running. Now he's running marathons and his body is, in 10 years, I can see the change. He's become so much leaner, fitter, his energy levels have gone up, and he looks like a much younger version of what he looked 10 years ago. So, good lifestyle can change cholesterol levels, can change your entire. I think people become younger when they adopt to a nice organic lifestyle. Luke is coming to us with a lot of points about how you and I can correct our lifestyle by simply inviting these in our life. Let me take you through them one by one. As discussed above, you must optimize your vitamin D intake to correct cholesterol. So, yes, if you have a lot of aches and pains in the body, and we've talked about in detail, if you think you need them, so yes, go for it. Reduce your intake of bad carbs such as refined sugar and white flour. Now, this is something which definitely is a conscious effort and can be easily altered. Don't overdo it with fruits as it can cause a buildup of fructose, which your body cannot break down. This adversely impacts your triglyceride levels. So, people who like mangoes, of course, they're feeding now. Don't overdo your fruits. And if possible, do not mix your fruit with your main meal. Make sure to include heart friendly food such as omega 3 from flax seeds, good quality fatty fish, avocados, whole eggs, nuts like walnuts, seeds, coconut oil, and ghee to improve your HDL levels. All this then needs to be supplemented with exercise to increase blood circulation. It's not completely effective if you work out for 1 hour but are inactive for the next 9 hours. So that is the reason why you have Fitbits or smartwatches, or like for example, my grandpa goes by the clock. So on his office desk, he's got this clock, the big one on the wall. Every hour, he must pick up a glass of water to drink because he knows कि वो पानी otherwise पीरा ही जाएगा. And he has a 1 glass of water and he takes a round in his own house. He gets it from his table and he just walks like about 250, 300 steps. He knows how many, rows he has to go up forth, and then he again sits back. So that's something which all of us need to work on ourselves. Fitbits and smartwatches, Apple Watches, of course, give you, if you put a reminder, it will start buzzing at that time and you know it's time for your 250 steps. So it's very important to work out, but it's very important to be active throughout. So sometimes when you're not well, you're just lying down. Even then, it's a very beautiful effort to actually get up and start moving around. I've seen many a time Nitin doing that. I've seen many times, people moving like Ashish is moving. Why? Because you've been sitting for 1.5 hours. So yes, there's no harm getting up in the middle, flex your muscles a bit and move a bit. So there's never any harm. Reduce your stress by practicing pranayam, yoga, meditation, and deep breathing. So I hope meditation, deep breathing, we're doing a bit of it and you are doing back home as well. Pranayam is beautiful. It's absolutely magical. Our yoga and pranayams, if people are doing it, it's even better than, other exercises. And for me, I think they are very sustainable because even if you're traveling, you can do them in the comfort of your room very easily. You don't need too much space also for it. And of course, on the spot walks also, like even jogging and moving, even that's fine. Walking is again great. When you sleep, your cholesterol levels get balanced. To make sure you get enough of it, just sleep is important. So again, how many hours depends upon you. How are you comfortable? With sleep, the simple thing is if you wake up in the morning not yawning and being excited about what the day has to unfold, that means you've had great sleep and you're not yawning, you're not tired. You're like, okay, just a splash of water and I'm good to go. So if that's the feeling you have, that means you've slept well. Moderate your intake of alcohol. I meet many people who say they don't drink for 6 days a week, but binge drink on the seventh day. You're better off drinking every single day in moderation rather than consuming large amounts at one sitting. Binge drinking causes inflammation in your liver. So when I got married in this family, people loved their drinks. So every day, but they would measure their drinks and have, and they would have like every single day. It's like 8 o'clock and they must drink. So that's fine. If you're drinking every single day and which is moderated, it's so much better than going in the end of the day and just drinking and going completely berserk because your system cannot tolerate anything to do with binge. Either it's eating or drinking or anything. Binge is bad, whether it's even binge watching a movie, your eyes start hurting, right? So just be careful of moderation in your life. Excessive smoking puts pressure on your arteries, constricting them. All of us know about this. So smoking is anyways bad. Excessive is definitely bad. So what are we looking at is something that we have to go and believe. Don't use olive oil in cooking as you're adding toxins and free radicals that create inflammation in your body. So olive oil is just supposed to be kind of a topping oil. All of us know a little bit is fine, but not too much. Especially when it's in a high fire, it really becomes toxic. So be careful. A lot of people in the last 5 years, 10 years have switched over to olive oil, but actually it's not meant for our Indian khana for sure. Sauteing of your vegetables with just light saute is fine. Drizzling on your pizzas is great. So that's the great way of having it. So how are you having on your salad is amazing. As a base is amazing. So just be careful. Use a local oil you grew up on, such as coconut oil, mustard oil, peanut oil, pure oils, which could nut oils like sesame oil. There are so many machines at home that you can actually process your oils. Shivani Gupta was talking about one closed in Delhi where they give at very, very throwaway prices. You send your own, your own seeds or whatever, and they just make the oil and give you back the thing and the oil. So it's again depending upon you how you go for it. Unsaturated polyester, canola, unsaturated vegetable oils are all rubbish as they create inflammation because they're so refined. So please watch out for those 5 liter things which come in your houses in case you have a big family. It's all rubbish and you're frying your food in them, you're making your food in them. It's really, really, really harmful. Include more probiotics and fermented food in your diet to keep your gut clean. So if you can have your probiotics, you can have your anything to do with South Indian food. They are fermented and they are great. Even doklas, they are fermented. Even your idlis and uttapams, anything which is fermented is great. So just see if you really want to have your gut clean, introduce them in your life, and you will be definitely very happy, aging beautifully with a lot of cellular energy. Move to a plant-based diet. Eat more fruits, more vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Stop eating out for a while, and you will see the effects very soon. I want to state clearly here that please do not stop taking your medication without prior approval from your doctors. So I hope that all of us are, anyways, not on too much medication. If we are, all we have to do is will ourselves to go off the medication, and that does happen. So please be careful, please be mindful, and you can embrace a life of wonderful longevity as long as you're ready for the change. So I hope Luke Cotino brings you some kind of throws some light on you every morning and you are ready to embrace the change. That's why we're reading a paragraph or two or chapter or two every day. So the conditioning is happening gradually. It's sometimes even this can become an information overload, but it's important to just let it absorb gradually, sink it in your mind. And even if you just completely go off it in the entire day, at least next morning you're like, yeah, yesterday I read about this. Yeah, okay, let me start doing it. Simply small changes will bring a lot of goodness in your bodies in your life. So I wish you all the very best for embracing a life of a wonderful health. So thank you, Ritesh sir, for showcasing these three books very beautifully. Time to showcase the blessings for the day. Let's see what a heart thought is all about. Understand one thing in life. You and I am here for a reason. We've connected on a level where we want to transform ourselves, and transformation happens internally as well. Just changing our lifestyle from outside will not make a difference on what we're eating, what we're thinking. Which diet are you on? Mindful, thoughtful, heartful thoughts or toxic thoughts? All of this will make a difference. So here we are talking about healing. Oh, here we are. I'm surprised. Okay. Healing. I can heal myself on all levels. All of us can heal ourselves on all levels. We all need healing, and that's the best part is being humans, we need healing all the time. And all the parts of us, we have so many layers. We have 7 layers here, 7 layers here. All of us need healing, right? This is a time for all of us to heal. Healing means to make whole, to accept all parts of ourselves, not just the parts we like, but all of us. So embrace your life and your body. And something that you're not very fond of is also to be healed, especially our bodies, our physical bodies, our mental bodies. Very important to have mental health, physical health. Karishma, will you want to continue reading this, please, for all of us?
Sure.
Thank you.
This is a time of compassion and a time of healing. Go within and connect with that part of yourself that knows how to heal. It is possible. Know that you are in the process of healing. This time you discover your healing abilities, abilities that are strong and powerful. You are incredibly capable. So be willing to go to a new level to find abilities and capabilities that you were not aware of, and not to cure a disease, but to truly heal yourself on all possible levels. You are spirit, and being spirit, you are free to save yourself and the world. And so it is.
Thank you. I love your voice and I love the way you read. So thank you, my dear readers, for the day. You both were great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Karishma. So we can all heal ourselves at all levels, and that's how life is. If we are strong enough that we want to heal ourselves, everything is possible. And of course, asking for inner guidance is very, very important. If you truly want to have a magical life, start intertwining, go meditating, and just ask your higher self for your guidance, and a lot will unfold. And when that guidance comes, just do it. That's it. And Nisha, I'm saying in a public forum here, stop saying that you have a bad connection and you broke. I see your message every other day. You're enhancing your bad connection by saying that, okay, I went off because of my bad connection. So don't say that publicly. If you think you haven't logged or you've logged off for whatever reason, that's all right. Because nobody, Ritesh sir is not making this, he's making the screenshots. He's not writing the reason why you broke your connection. So very important to not expand anything which you don't like. So I'm sure you don't like to break your connection, right? So why write about it? Simple things. This is how all of us heal in life by addressing that, we are growing for a better thing. So thank you, my dear Ritesh sir, for all the 4 books. Let's move on to a meditation time. And today is day 20 of our mirror work. From Monday onwards, we'll have new meditations, no more of mirror work. So let's have our back straight, our feet firmly placed on the ground below, rooted, our eyes closed. Let's wear a smile, our hands comfortably placed in our laps in the position that you're comfortable. Let's inhale love. Love is in every part of my being, in every single molecule, atom, cells of my being. As we exhale love, we're sharing our love with the world, making it richer and a better place to be in. Let's inhale light. The universal light brightens my inner world, making me ready for a new change. As I exhale light, I'm sharing my light with the world. I inhale abundance at every part of my being, in every realm of my being. I am abundant. And as I exhale, I share these wishings of abundance with the world outside. Life is magical. Life is magnificent. And life is marvelous. Let's live our lives with a purpose. Let's find a unique purpose and live it by being unconditional givers. Remember, very few can give. You're the blessed one to have been chosen to be the channel of love and light. Share your love, share your light. Share the act and the joy of giving. It could be giving your time, money, efforts. However, be a giver, an unconditional giver. Today is about just unconditionally loving yourself and loving others. We have already started giving to ourselves time, patience, love, understanding, compassion in our journey of mirror work. Now it's a time to extend these beautiful things to our families, maybe the children for next generation, maybe our families. It's time to embrace ourselves and it's time to welcome the inner child who has grown in us in this beautiful journey of mirror work. Let's welcome the child within us. Let's place a hand over our hearts. Allow yourself not only to see your inner child, but also to be that child. You are the shrunken version of yourselves as your inner child. Imagine you're hearing your parents tell you, "We are so glad you came. We've been patiently waiting for you. We wanted you so much to be part of our family. You're so important to us. Our family wouldn't be the same without you. You, my dear precious one, are so, so loved. We love you. We want to hold you. We want to help you grow up to be all that you want to be. Even now, you can grow up into a much better person, my dear, because you are the change. You don't have to be like us. You need to be yourself. We love your uniqueness. You are so wonderful. You are so bright. You are so creative. And you can create the life that you desire. It's all about your intention. My dear child, today is a day of new beginnings. Set your intentions and start afresh. It's such a pleasure to have you in my family. We thank you for choosing this beautiful family and us. We know you're blessed. And you know what? You are a blessing because you have come in our family. So thank you for blessing us all. We love you. We really, really, really love you, my dear. Soak in the feeling of being haven't spoken to with love and light by your parents, by your loved ones. Let your inner child make these words true for you. Be aware that every day you can look in the mirror and say these words. You can tell yourselves all the things you wanted your parents to tell you. Remember, you are the change maker. Your little child needs to feel wanted and loved. Give that to your child. Forget it how he or she may have grown up. You can still give love to the child that because the child is still waiting. He or she is anxious, waiting for your love. No matter how old you are or how sick or scared, the little child within you is, and it needs to be wanted and loved. Keep telling your inner child, I want you and I love you. And dear child, no matter what you eat, you will never put on weight. So it's okay to nurture yourself. Don't fear. No matter what you speak, nobody will guide, nobody will challenge you. Speak your mind out. Don't let the world rule you. You rock your own world, my dear. You have the power. You're beautiful the way you are. It doesn't matter how your hair or your body is. You are unique and wonderful. I want you and I really love you. This is a truth for you to know. The universe wants you here, and that's why you're here. You've always been loved, and you will always be loved throughout eternity. You can live happily ever after, and that's how life is. So count your blessings because you are now going to be absolutely miraculously happy because that's your intention. You can embrace all the love that you desire, you can create it. Remember, love is the universal force in the world. Share your love, share your light, and let's make this world a beautiful place to live in. And so it is. Let's bow down our heads in gratitude and find the grounding cord, your roots growing in from your soles of your feet into Mother Earth. Feel the pull, feel the energy. Remember, your Brahmyandra, your ground chakra, is open to the skies above, and your soles of your feet are connected to Mother Earth. You are in between, a mere channel of love and light. See the bluish white healing light above your head, and this light is now entering your crown chakra. It's entering your being, filling every cell of your being with this beautiful, magnificent healing light. Any stress, any strain is now vanished. What is left behind is a state of uniqueness, purposefulness, heartfulness, and thoughtfulness. You are full of all things wonderful. This light is going in every part of your being, face to the shoulders, to your arms, to your back, to your chest. It's going through all your chakras, to your gut area, your thighs, your calves, and this light is now entering into Mother Earth through your souls. See yourself from outside. You are a channel of love and light. And from every single soul pore of your being, let this wonderful light be shared outside. You are light. You are love. This beautiful, magnificent light, which dispels all darkness internally, externally, you can create the life you desire by giving your love to it. Start giving love in every part of your being. Start growing into a better being. And so it is. You are love. You are light. And now let's fold our hands together in front of our heart and thank our wonderful, magical life. Dear life, thank you for all the ups and downs, for all life lessons and experiences. I'm enriched, empowered because of you. Thank you for making me who I am today. I stand tall and proud of my journey. Through thick and thin of life, you had my back. And now I realize that every experience is something that I called upon for myself, for my soul to go richer and deeper and nurture. And dearest wonderful present, I love it. I love that I'm meditating. I love that I'm harnessing good energy. I love that I'm creating my life. And today, on this day of new beginnings, I am creating my life exactly the way I want, with lots of love and with lots of light, knowing that my future is bright and I am co creating it with the universe and the cosmic energy. Thank you, dear life, for being magical. And dear future, I love you. I really do. And dear present, you are the most precious because I know to live in you is like living in life. And thank you for being so powerful. Let's open our hands to the universe above, express our eternal gratitude. Dear universe, thank you for having our back. Dear cosmos, thank you for including us in your Leela. Dear angels, thank you for always cueing us in all magical beginnings. Dear guardians, you always protect us around us. We have this divine protection shield around us because of you. Dear divinities, thank you for showering your choicest blessings on each one of us. So beautiful. Expand our angel heart by expanding your heart on the left and right. I am a yes person. I am love. I am light. Wherever I go, prosperity follows me. I'm open and receptive to all the goodness and love in the universes. I am growing for a better version, for a better tomorrow. And with that knowledge, I thank the Lord. Let's fold our hand in front of our heart, have another wishful, heartful prayer of gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everything for everyone and everyone in my life for all things magical. I love you, dear life. I truly do. And let's rub them together, feel the energy flow, the warmth. Let's bless our conscious subconscious mind for restructuring, reprogramming, unlearning, and learning. To a wonderful face, to all the five senses, to a wonderful neck, and the food pipe that takes the spiritual food in our body, the cellular energy that we get, the wonderful shoulders and the arms, upper to lower, our back, upper to lower, with the spinal cord, our hips, our chest, our lungs, our heart, our liver, stomach, gallbladder, uterus, intestines, kidneys, sexual organs, excretory organs, our legs upper to lower, soles of our feet, toe finger and nails. Come back up. Dearest, beautiful body. As I fold my hands in front of my heart, all I want to say is a big round of thank you. Starting from my organs, muscles, tissues, fibers, blood circulation system that's in hundred thousands of kilometers in my body, the trillions of cells in my being, the skin, the bones. How blessed am I? I may go through health issues, but I know that I am the one who can sort them out. Today, on this day of new beginnings, I'm going to wish for physical and mental health once again. And so it is. I invoke my inner energy to share and love and to bless my Sangha, their loved ones, and all beings on Mother Earth. Let's share our light. Prashant, Radniji, Anju, Pratimaji, Shruti, Ritu, Rigu, Naveen, Poonam, Disha, Nitin, Karishma, Reema, Siddharth, Vandana, Jitendraji, Aditi, Ankur, Sangeeta, Yanji, Ushaji, Mudita, Sapna, Richa, Rajiv, Payal, Sanya, Neha, Ankur, Hina, Shami, Sakshi, Kripa, Nisha, Rashi, Akshay, Yashvi, Ashish, Shelly, Harpreet, Monica, Richa, Parul, Peena, Sunita, Pooja, Gauravan Garima, Seema, Ravi, Chandra, Hina, Rohiniji, Neetu, Bhavan, Sakshi, Nehal, Alifya, Ankita, Richa, Peena, Sunita, Radhika, Kavita, Shivani, Shalu, Niriksha, Minakshi, Amit, Aksha, Lona, Sailesh, Shubhra, One Month One for Life, Puneet, Ritesh Sir, Amrita, Shweta, Sanjay Sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for being there and sharing your light and sharing your love. Thank you for the blessings and thank you for making this morning yet another day of magic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once again, before I log off, 6:46 or now is a good time to put your intentions, your sankalp into place. And the Cancerian moon is all about family and your personal growth. So if you really are, yes, AM, the morning hours, yes. And what you have to do is write in the paper. And even if you can't see the moon, it's okay. Just imagine the moon wherever you're in your room. Remember, the moonlight comes wherever she is. So just energize that, fold it up, or put it straight in under the mattresses, and just keep affirming, keep imagining, keep creatively visualizing, and let your dreams come to fruition. So thank you, everyone. Any questions about the full moon, about the new moon? Any doubts? So it's pretty simple, but it's all about intentions. It's all about new beginnings. And this is a time we wipe our slate clean. If you want something new, you've already done it 9. Yes, Seema, it's absolutely fine. Anything plus minus 12 hours is absolutely okay. It's all about feelings. So yes, grateful to Nitin for all the recordings every single morning diligently. So Nitin, thank you for that. Really beautiful. So thank you, everyone. No questions, I see. So have a wonderful day. Let's see each other tomorrow morning at 5. Until then, take care, be safe. Lots of love, light, and abundance.